perhaps the most important thing I will ever discuss about Tacoma, and it's the aroma. Now, in reference to this, I believe my exact quote was, "The aroma of Tacoma can be many things." And that's true. So let's actually talk about the history of the aroma. The first official mention of the Tacoma aroma comes in the 1890s in a back and forth between Tacoma and Seattle, where Seattle was like, "We want to be better." And then Tacoma and Seattle got in this fight in the newspaper, in which George Francis Train, the guy who traveled all the way around the world and set world records, a defender of Tacoma, wrote this poem. And he was referencing the fact of ambrosia, the food of the gods, saying that there was a lot of good stuff here in Tacoma. But the truth of the Tacoma aroma is pretty simple. The tide flats and this low area really holds in smells, especially because of the prevailing winds. But it hasn't just been the pulp mill. There have been multiple offenders to the olfactory senses. The Asarco copper smelting plant, the refinery that processes dead animals into a variety of products, burned glue from the plywood manufacturer, as well as several other good smells. There have been bread and chocolate and pickles throughout the region as well. But what really contributes to this whole experience is that for over 100 years, the industrial strength of the tide flats has brought in a lot of industry. It didn't really reach its fever pitch though until the 1960s when Interstate 5 opened. Up until that point, you could actually get out of the smell by going up higher in Tacoma. But I-5 curves right past the tide flats and in that low depression, making the smell inescapable and introducing thousands of new visitors to that particular scent. Then in the 1970s, country singers Jim Torrance and Don Lemon made a 45 album about the aroma of Tacoma. They went far and wide in jukeboxes throughout the country. And then in the 1980s, Bruce Springsteen came to Tacoma to perform at the Tacoma Dome and got the flu and then blamed the Tacoma aroma. Truly, the smell of the Tacoma aroma has most predominantly come from the tide flats, or just bio stuff down there. And then the greatest offender over the years was actually the Asarco smelting plant. But the pulp mill in the 1960s and 70s, without many environmental controls to dampen down that smell, gets the most action. And because it apparently made Bruce Springsteen sick, that's not actually the truth, it was the damn flu, a lot of people use it. So if nothing else, Tacoma, be proud of your aroma.